go to one of my favorite segments on Wise Guys. It's my NFL Week 9 Wise Picks. I did pretty good in Week 8. I went 11-2. So very, very impressive Week 8 for your boy with the Wise Picks. Let's see how I do in Week 9. The 6-2 Denver Broncos are traveling to H-Town to take on the 3-4 Houston Texans. The Texans surprisingly are favored by 1.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Houston. The over-under for this matchup is 39.5 points. The Broncos had a very, very impressive win in Week 8. They dominated the Cowboys 44-24. And I thought Bo Nix played really, really well in that game. Had arguably the best game of the 2025 season for him. 19 for 29, 247 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. So Bo Nix played really well for the Broncos in their Week 8 win over the Dallas Cowboys. And the Broncos are streaking. They are in a 5-game winning streak. And the Texans, on the flip side, they beat the 49ers last week in a much-needed win for the Houston Texans in their playoff hopes and for them to be able to keep pace in the AFC South. But I believe the Broncos are a better football team than the Texans are. And the Broncos, they will increase their winning streak to 6. I'm rolling with the Broncos to beat the Texans in Houston. I'll go Broncos 28, Texans 17. The 49ers, favored by 2.5 points, are traveling to New York to take on the Giants. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in New York. The over-under for this matchup is 48.5 points. The 49ers, they had a very, very disappointing loss against the Texans in Week 8. The Giants, on the flip side, they lost in Week 8 against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they also sadly lost Cam Scatterboo for the season with a dislocated ankle. But I like the way Jackson Dart has played so far since he's been the starter for the New York Giants. I've been very impressed with the 49ers, though. And the 49ers, I believe they may get back Brock Purdy in this game. So for the first time this year, I'm rolling with the San Francisco 49ers to beat the New York Giants in New York. I'll go 49ers 24, Giants 21. The 4-4 Carolina Panthers are traveling to Green Bay to take on the 5-1-1 Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 12.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5 points. The Panthers got dominated by the Bills in Week 8. They lost that game 40-9, but help potentially could be on the way for the Carolina Panthers as Bryce Young has practiced this week for the Panthers, and he might play in this Week 9 matchup against the Packers. But the Packers are a better football team than the Panthers are. Jordan Love is playing the quarterback position at an MVP level right now, and Tucker Kraft is the best young tight end that we have right now in the NFL, along with Sam Laporta in Detroit. So I'm rolling with the Packers to take care of business against the Panthers at home in Lambeau. I'll go Packers 35, Panthers 17. It's an NFC North battle in Detroit as the 3-4 Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Detroit to take on the 5-2 Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 8.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Detroit. The over-under for this matchup is 47.5 points. The Vikings, they just placed Carson Wentz on injured reserve. He's expected to be out for the season, but I expect J.J. McCarthy to get the start for the Vikings this week. But the Lions are fresh off of their bye. Lions are 5-2. They are a better football team than the Vikings are. I believe David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs will be effective in the running game for the Detroit Lions. So I'm rolling with the Lions to beat the Vikings in Detroit. I'll go Lions 31, Vikings 17. The 5-3 LA Chargers are traveling to Tennessee to take on the 1-7 Tennessee Titans. The Chargers are favored by 9.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Tennessee. The over-under for this matchup is 43.5 points. The Chargers are a better football team than the Titans are. Justin Herbert had a very, very impressive performance in Week 8. In the Thursday night matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, they scored 37 points in that game. I expect Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers to take care of business on the road against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. I'll go Chargers 27, Titans 13. The 3-4 Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Foxborough to take on Drake May and the 6-2 New England Patriots. The Patriots are favored by 5.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Foxborough. The over-under for this matchup is 45.5 points. The Patriots are playing some really, really good football right now, and they are on a 5-game winning streak. The Falcons are reeling. They just got blew out by the Dolphins in Week 8. The Dolphins are a mess, and so to me, that said more about the Falcons than it did the Dolphins, because we know the Dolphins will not be a playoff team in the AFC, and Mike McDaniel will most likely lose his job at the end of the season. But to me, that game was telling, because the Falcons are not who I believe they were coming into the season. I thought the Falcons could possibly be a sleeper in the NFC and make the playoffs as a wild card team. They have not played well in their last few games since their win over the Bills a few weeks ago. I mean, they got beat by the 49ers in Week 7, 20-10. They got completely blew off the field by the Miami Dolphins in Week 8, 34-10. I know Michael Penix is not playing right now, but it's bad for them to get blew out like that against the Dolphins. So right now, the Patriots are a better football team than the Falcons are. I believe the New England Patriots will keep their winning streak alive and increase their winning streak to 6 games. I'm rolling with Drake May and the Patriots to beat Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll go Patriots 28, Falcons 17. The 4-3 Chicago Bears are traveling to the Queen City to take on the 3-5 Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 2.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in the Queen City. The over-under for this matchup is 52.5 points. Let me update y'all on the line. The Bears now are favored by 2.5 points. It was announced a few days ago that Joe Flacco may potentially miss this game with an injury to his shoulder. So Jake Browning most likely will get the start for the Bengals. Listen, both the Bears and the Bengals are 2 bad football teams. They both are a mess. And last week, both the Bears and the Bengals had very, very disappointing performances, and they lost games that they were supposed to win. The Bears should have beaten the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, and the Bengals should have damn sure beat the winless New York Jets last week. I mean, it was a pathetic performance by the Bears and the Bengals in week 8. And to me, this game is, I don't know which team is worse. I don't know which team is worse. One of these teams has to win this particular game because I'm here in Cincinnati and I am a homer. And I want the Bengals to beat the Bears and put the Bears out of the misery. And damn it, that's the least the Bengals could do. That's the least the Bengals could do because the Packers, we took care of the Steelers for the Bengals. We took care of the Steelers last Sunday night in dominant fashion, I may add. So, Bengals, can you give us one back? Give us one back for us and handle those Bears. Not that the Bears are going to have any impact on the Packers winning the NFC North, because I think the Packers are going to beat the Bears in both of their matchups this season. But I'm going to roll with the Bengals to beat the Bears in Paycor Stadium in the Queen City. I'll go Bengals 27, Bears 23. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 4-3, favored by 3.5 points. They are traveling to Vegas to take on the 2-5 Las Vegas Raiders. It's a 4:05 p.m. kickoff in Vegas. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5 points. The Jaguars had a bye week in week 8. Thank God we didn't have to see the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 8. Thank God, because they got completely manhandled by Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams in week 7. I think that game was played in London. They got completely manhandled in that game. So I thought the Jaguars, they had a big win against the Chiefs earlier this year, but they have not been the same since that win. They have not. And they've struggled overall as a football team. And so I believe that this is going to be an upset. And this is my upset pick of the week. I'm rolling with Geno Smith and the Las Vegas Raiders to upset Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll go Raiders 31, Jaguars 30. The New Orleans Saints, who are 1-7, they are traveling to LA to take on the 5-2 LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. It's a 4:05 p.m. kickoff. The Rams are favored by 13.5 points. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5 points. The Rams will blow out the Saints in this game. I'm rolling with the Rams to beat the Saints in LA. I'll go Rams 38, Saints 17. The Sunday night matchup in Washington. The 5-2 Seattle Seahawks are traveling to the nation's capital to take on the 3-5 Washington Commanders. The Seahawks are favored by 3.5 points. It's an 8:20 p.m. kickoff in D.C. The over-under for this matchup is 46.5 points. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to start in this game. Marcus Mariota got the start for the Commanders in their last game against the Chiefs. But the Commanders right now are 3-5. And you don't want to continue to lose games and fall behind in the playoff race in the NFC. But because of the uncertainty at quarterback for the Washington Commanders and the Washington Commanders just being inconsistent so far this season, I'm rolling with the Seahawks to beat the Commanders in the nation's capital. I'll go Seahawks 28, Commanders 21. It's a battle in Jerry World on Monday Night Football as the 2-5 Arizona Cardinals are traveling to Dallas to take on Dak Prescott and the 3-4-1 Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5 points. It's an 8:20 p.m. kickoff in Dallas. The over-under for this matchup is 54.5 points. I think the Cowboys are going to put on a clinic offensively, and they're going to score a lot of points in this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. I think for the Arizona Cardinals, it's the wrong place at the wrong time. Cowboys lost in Week 8 against the Broncos. They actually got dominated in that football game. But in a Monday night primetime matchup in Jerry World, in that inside facility, basically on a track, I'm rolling with the Cowboys offense and the Dallas Cowboys as a football team to beat the Arizona Cardinals. I'll go Cowboys 31, Cardinals 20. Those are my NFL Week 9 Wise picks. Everybody go follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. And be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports. There you got it. My Week 9 Wise picks.